Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and we are on the final stretch, aren't we? 1 week to go. Not even 1 week, less than a week to go. It's this weekend. The Scottish Premiership and such returns. League football is back. Competitive football is underway. We've been waiting all summer, and it's finally here, which means we are now on the final stretch on this channel. We're going to have today's video. We're going to have league predictions this week. We're going to have another podcast this week. It's all back to normal as Celtic and the rest of the league return. How exciting! And it's time to rank some away kits, isn't it? We're ranking, and that means there are neutrals, there's neutrals, so I will change the chanting, so you can stop your moaning, oh. So before we go any further and we get into rating the away kits for this season, you have a chance to win a Celtic kit of your own. Yes, I say Celtic kit. I know that there will be non-Celtic fans viewing this video because they want to see where I put their team's kit. That's a script every year normally, but there is a giveaway for Celtic fans who have subscribed to the channel. Thank you all so much for 35,000 subscribers. We crossed that line on Saturday, and I couldn't be more grateful. So, and to show my gratefulness and how grateful I am, go down to the description below. You have a chance to win either the Celtic home or away shirt this season. They'll have it open till, say, Friday. Your entry can be in. Just follow the instructions in the giveaway. The link will be down there. Probably something simple like going like a tweet, retweet a tweet, follow an account. But one thing you've got to make sure to do is subscribe to this channel. If you want to win, make sure and hit the subscribe button below, because that's the only way you can win. And if you're not a Celtic fan, you may as well enter anyway, because you could win the shirt and punt it if you like. You know, hopefully a Celtic fan wins though. Away kits are a bit more exciting than home kits, aren't they? And this year, in particular, I think the league has given us a real good host of away kits to look at, and it was really difficult for me to organise them from worst to best. There's a couple that stand out as the worst, and I think that there's some that we can obviously kind of see that in, but the vast majority are actually quite good, and they're a bit different from home shirts. It's a better to rank the away shirts because it's an opportunity, it's a chance for the teams to express their artistic ability and their individuality, because it doesn't have to be green and white hoops, it doesn't have to be a plain maroon shirt or a blue, white and red t-shirt. It can be something a bit different. So I enjoy the away shirts, and let's have a look at what the teams have offered us this year, rank them from worst to best as we always do, and start from the bottom with what is a pretty bad shirt. Number 12, Ross County. What can I say? It's plain white with a black V-neck collar and nothing else. Now, apparently, there's a subtle print on the torso of the shirt. Now, I don't know if you need a magnifying glass to see it, but I can barely make it out. It's like a sort of zigzag sort of thing, polymetric design. You can barely see it. You can barely make it out. I don't know what it'd be like in person, and you don't see Ross County shirts very often down here. So it might look a bit better, but on the whole, it's a white t-shirt with a black V-neck collar. You could get it at a Primark and slap a Ross County badge on it yourself. It's the most boring away shirt I've seen this season, hands down. Livingston, yes, they actually have a shirt, by the way. They have their away. I don't think they've announced a home shirt yet. Still, we done that video, last week, and we still have no home shirt, I think. But we do have an away shirt, and it's, they've tried. They've tried is what I'll say, but it's just a bit tacky looking. It looks cheap. One thing I've always said about the Livingston shirts is that sponsor doesn't help. It looks like a fake. You know how when you play like the F1 games and you've got to put sponsors in your car and it's like fake companies? That's what this logo reminds me of. And the shirt itself is just pretty boring. It's a bad effort from Joma, just like the Ross County shirt as well. They've went for the black stripe down the middle with a thinner yellow stripe inside it. It just looks very, Pez create a kit. When you go in to create your club and you create your club's kit, and you're stuck with the most basic, boring options, and you think it looks good, but it doesn't really look that good. It's just because it's better than the other options. It reminds me of that. Very boring again from Livingston, and hopefully it's a kit that sees that plastic part go down a division. Oh, I've just pissed off every Livingston fan, haven't I? Oh, here we go. Number 10, Rangers. It's a horrible kit, boys. This is the last really bad one, I think. And I think it's really bad. I'm just going to be bluntly honest. And it didn't receive the best of reactions from Rangers fans either on Twitter when the shirt was announced. Why is that box T logo so big on the sleeve. It ruins the kit. And I'm so happy Celtic don't have sleeve sponsors yet. I know it's another form of income for the club, and we could probably be doing with a sleeve sponsor, but I'm glad we don't have any, and I hope it stays like that, because stuff like that ruins a kit. And overall, aside from that, even if you take the box T logo off it, it's still not a nice kit. It's just very, once again, like the previous two, it looks sort of cheap to me. It looks really lazy from Castore. I like the idea. I think that it could have looked a lot better if they pulled it off, but they haven't pulled it off in my eyes. Half white, half red. It's just, it lacks imagination, and I think it deserves to be soloed down. I think that the bottom three in the division this year are really boring, cheap-looking kits. You could see this in a Turkish market easily, without it being actually, you know, a kit for the season. You could just see it down in Turkey getting flogged when it has no relevance to the club. That's what I feel about this kit. Next up, number 9. I feel like this is where the away kits become good to really good. I think that the majority of teams have knocked out the park with their away shirts this year, and Aberdeen were very, very close to being one of those sides. It's still a decent away shirt, but they've not managed to replicate, I think, the same classiness that is in that home shirt. I obviously put Aberdeen as number 1 in the home shirt rankings, and number 9 is like the other end of the table. But just to clarify, this top 9 I think are really close. It's a nice shirt again from Aberdeen here. Now the problem for me is the yellow on the sponsor comes from nowhere. Like, I don't know if they're obligated to do that because of the sponsor's colours, but on the home shirt it's all white. I feel like being all black would have been a lot better. The yellow doesn't have to be there. It's very out of place. Also, another thing that ruins it for me is the red on the side under the sleeves. Can you see that? Like that in there, that the two triangles of red, they don't need to be there. That should just be block white with the red pinstripes falling through the shirt. And number 3, what ruins it for me, is the collar. It's a very ugly looking collar. I think it would have looked better if it just kind of looped all the way around, or even if it had an actual physical collar. Just something that doesn't have that triangle slit right down at the bottom. It makes it look very... And I love the early 2000s for football kits, but it makes it look early 2000s without it being nice early 2000s, you get me? I just don't think it lives up to the same sort of presence as the home shirt does, and that's a bit disappointing. However, I love the retro badge. I think they should keep it their badge forever. But yeah, it's a decent enough kit, just slightly falls short of the other ones on the list. Number 8, it's St Johnstone, who have done significantly better than their home kit entry. However, this is one that I can maybe see throughout the course of the season falling out of favour in my eyes. It kind of reminds me of lizard skin, or like snake skin, or any sort of reptile skin. With the pattern going through the shop, but something very different, and they've tried to be unique. They've went for purple and green, which are really, you know, it's like the Joker, isn't it? A very nice colour combination, but it's like a sort of, it's a weird green. It's like, I don't know, jungle green or something like that, but it's nice. I like it, and it's something, as I said, it's unique, it's different, and it's significantly better than their plain blue home shirt that they've gave us this season. I think this is one that kind of stands out for some people, and for some people it will stand out for the wrong reasons. Like, they'll think it's just too much, it's too sort of, I can see why people would maybe think it's tacky, and that's what I'm saying. Throughout the course of the season, I can see it maybe slipping down in my estimations, but right now, upon release, I think it's a significantly better sort of option than their home shirt, and I think it's, you know, it's eye-catching. It certainly captures your attention. So, yeah, it's just not a bad kit. And I like the 2 colours on it. One thing that can be said about this St Johnstone kit is it could have been so easy for them just to have gone with a purple base and, like, see the Livingston kit, just a green stripe down the middle. It could have been so easy for Macron to do that, but they've not. They've done something different. It's a very unique design. I've never seen it in a football shirt before. So that deserves points in its own. Well done, St Johnstone. Still not quite high in the list. And closing off the bottom half in number 7 is Kilmarnock. For some it might be boring. For me, I quite like it. I think it's decent enough. Once again, the Brownings the Bakers logo is just brilliant. It's like Scotland's answer to Newcastle Brown Ale. It's just an iconic sort of clean, classic looking sponsor. And obviously the home of the Killie Pie. So it's relatable to the town, just like Newcastle Brown Ale was with Newcastle. And yeah, I think it's a nice looking kit. They've got a design going through the yellow, which makes it much better than what it would be if it was just a plain yellow shirt. The only thing about it I find it really weird is the collar. Like, it's very big and deep, and I don't know if that's meant to be sort of retro, but you could shove a tie on with that. Like, it looks as though you're wearing a jacket over a shirt. with the how deep the collar actually goes. But I like the colour scheme, the yellow and blue. I think that's nice, and I think Hummel have done a good job again of making a solid enough effort here. It's not too exciting, but it's certainly not a bad entry, and that's why it closes off the bottom half. Next up, Dundee United with a kit that is really nice, but ruined by a couple of subtle details. And when I say subtle details, I mean that sponsor again. There is something significantly wrong with that sponsor. It does not fit the kit properly. I just can't put my finger on it. It's like, why is there the Quinn Casino will do, get rid of the Q, put it that way, and it's just so thin and long, and I don't know, there's something about it, but the actual shirt itself, if you were to get a sponsorless version, is very nice. It's quite basic, but very nice. It's like a black and silverish sort of thing with the way that the geometric pattern is made up. It's like a chessboard. You know, it's like a very checkered, but like it's split into wee triangles. It's nice. It's okay. It does the job. And I think it's a better sort of effort than the home shirt. And I'll tell you what, props to them because they've managed to get the fucking badge on it. They spent all that money on the badge, £250,000 or something on the badge, and they finally managed to get it on a shirt. So it's not been that much of a waste of money now. They've actually got to use their new badge. You know what though? I think this shirt could have been much higher. And I know they've just paid all that money for a badge. I know I've just took a little dig at them for that, not getting the home shirt. But see if they kind of grayscaled the badge up and they had it like blacked out. You know, like a black and silver sort of number on the badge. I think it would look better. I think it would be a better looking kit. You know how like when you get a blackout kit and they make the badge suit it? They could have done it with that. Because there shouldn't be any orange on this, I think. Numero 5. Numero 5. It's Motherwell. I forgot what team it was there because I was trying to talk in different languages, obviously. Motherwell, who, big shout out. They've done it. They've managed to get a kit with no main giant shirt sponsor, which is always an added bonus when you can see that. And when kits can come and show the whole personality without being dominated by a sponsor, it's always great. So the pay care sponsors below the badge, like it was with Celtic back in 2012-13 with the Tenants logo. It's below the badge. It takes up a very small amount of the shirt, but it's a very clean entry from Motherwell. I love the collar on this, by the way. I like that style, and you don't see it a lot in football kits. It's like they've got an actual collar, but it's like being thinned down. It's not like full on big down to over your neck. It's just on the sort of side, and they've got this nice little stripe on it with both of the claret and the amber. It's a really nice shirt and it's really clean. I think Macron have done a really good job over the past few years at making Motherwell kits look so clean and professional, like they're made by an Adidas or they're made by a Nike, and this is another one of those entries. I like it a lot. I think it could actually be higher on this list, but the ones above it are so nice, and I think this is where the kits actually do become so nice. So fair play to Motherwell. It is nice, although you couldn't wear it at dinner time because you're gonna dirty that. You're gonna dirty that. At number 4, we're into the top 4. We've got one side of the Edinburgh teams, and it's Hibs with a very different, very unique entry. Now I have no idea what the pattern is in the front. Now when I read the description on this website, it says the Joma as if it's Jota. The Joma Hibernian FC 22-23 away shirt is mainly light green with a subtle white graphic pattern of Easter Road, the club stadium, on the front. Now, I don't know if this is some expressionist's vision of Easter Road, but I cannot see Easter Road in that pattern. I don't know about you, I just see squares, to be quite honest, but it's still really nice, and the colour scheme I think is gorgeous. The white and the green, it's like a nice minty sort of colour. I think it's actually really stunning. Like slap a Celtic badge on that with our sponsors, I think that would look gorgeous. So I've put it in at number 4. It's a sort of, the material looks sort of funny as well. It looks sort of like satinish, shiny. It's weird. I think it'll look great on the park. Now the only problem is Hibs have dug themselves into a hole like Celtic here with 2 green kits. So when it comes to playing Celtic at Celtic Park, they're going to be in a right mess unless their third shirt's going to surprise us. So there you go. There's the Hibs one. I think it's... Can someone spot Easter Road, please? It's like, is it like hidden? Or is this like some sort of pattern from Easter Road that I don't know about? I don't know. You'll need to help me on that. Number 3, and we're going with Hearts. Glorious farts. The Homer and Barts. This is stunning. This is quite simply gorgeous in my eyes. I love it. And the sponsor's the best part of it. I don't know what Stella Armada is. It looks like a beer's logo or something. But the kit, the polka dots on the white, I really like this. And Umbro, once again, my favourite kit makers, making a standout Hearts shirt this season. I think it's gorgeous, and there's not much else I can say apart from that. The polka dots with the yellow, the maroon, I think there's like a bit of silver in there. The cuffs on the sleeves are perfect. This is just really, really nice. Really, really nice. I sort of wish that Celtic would give us a polka dot shirt after seeing something like this with maybe like green, white and gold. But it's so clean, it's so classy looking. The sponsor fits the shirt perfectly. Of course, different from the NMD sponsor that's on the home shirt. It's not overwhelming in any sort of way. The pattern's subtly nice. Yeah, it's a winner of a shirt for me, and it's part of a top 3 here, which I think are perfect. Number 2, another shirt with a pattern throughout the whole thing, like Hearts with their polka dots, but they do it really well. And it's this St Mirren away shirt, released by Ewan McVicker. Tell me something good, him. You can say what you want about the advert to release it, but the kit itself is really nice, and I love the Paisley pattern. I love Paisley pattern things, you know. I'm a big Pretty Green fan, and they have a lot of Paisley pattern, and it works on the football kit really well. There's been a lot of kits recently with Paisley print patterns. You've seen it on Manchester City's kits a lot recently. I think there's been another couple of clubs down England, and St Mirren really going for it, being from Paisley this season. And the Digby Brown logo, for once, doesn't look too bad on the shirt. Overall, very, very nice, very clean, and they've managed to sustain a pattern through the entire thing without it blowing you away or looking awful, just like Hearts with the polka dots all the way through it. I think this is really, really nice, and you know, it's one of those shirts that will stand the test of time for St Mirren. I think that St Mirren fans will look back at this as an all-time classic, depending on whether or not they have a good season. But yeah, really nice. A 10 out of 10 for me. And finally, to close us off, the biased comments can come raining in, but I am sorry, there is not a better kit this season than Celtic's away shirt. And you know how in the last video I said that Ross County home shirt might be the absolute worst of everyone I've spoke about on YouTube so far in my 5-6 years doing this? Well, this Celtic away shirt might be the absolute best out of every shirt that I have spoke about in the 5 or 6 years that I've done YouTube. This is stunning. This away shirt is everything I've been wanting and needing since Adidas took over as the shirt makers 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I love it. I absolutely love it. A throwback to, of course, a shirt from the early 90s, but this is just beautiful. The colour scheme, the pattern, the way that it's all came together, the crest round the badge. There is nothing wrong with this shirt. It is faultless. And even the Dafabet logo, which has been such a pain in my side since we put it on our shirts back in 2016, even the Dafabet logo looks as though it belongs on this shirt. It is absolutely stunning, and it's easily Adidas' best effort as Celtic kit makers so far. And you can call me biased all you like, but there's a reason that folk around the world have been going on about this shirt, because it is simply stunning. So it's easily number 1 for me. There you go. And that's it. There's my rankings for the shirts this season, the away shirts this season. Some absolute screamers this year, and I think this was the toughest away shirt ranking for the league that I've done so far. Only 3 ones that I thought that were bad. The top 9, I thought were all good in their own rights. So yeah, really difficult. Let me know your opinions. Let me know what you think's the best, and give me abuse for putting Celtic number 1 if you like. But I have no regrets. None at all. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.